Anthony, I gotta be honest with you. I am loving this. This has been worth... I can't believe I'm saying it. I really can't, because I have been right there with you of there's no chance in hell I'm going to say this is worth $70, at least for me. Dude, this game is outstanding. This is still the 10 out of 10 game that we know and love. It's still the 10 out of 10 game. The added level of detail here, it's not minor. The game feels different from what, like, it feels like almost like a totally damn near new experience from what I played, from what I remember 8 years ago. Now, a lot of that, like I said, is because I haven't played this game in 8 years. You know, it's not like I just played The Last of Us Remastered a year and a half ago. Anthony, this is amazing. Like, the attention to detail here, like, this is top tier red. It's not a surprise. I don't think that this is going to be a surprise, me saying this to you, because I think we had both mutually agreed that the level of detail and the game itself was going to be amazing. And so it all comes down to that $70 price tag. And I never thought this game was going to win me over. Personally, from my perspective, from my experience with The Last of Us, I never thought it would win me over the $70 price tag. And I'll be honest with you, The Last of Us brand has kind of soured on me a little bit over the last few years since the second one came out. I was a little bit, I didn't necessarily love the way that the direction went with its story. Obviously a lot of controversy around that. And so I felt like, do I really need to play the first one again? Is this something that I even want to get into? I know where the story goes. I didn't necessarily love the direction that it went. And in that process, I forgot just how incredible, perfect, to be honest with you, this game is. Dude, this is special. I got to be honest with you. This is one of those games I'm playing through, and you're playing through something that is unlike anything that we've really seen, if that makes any sense. And I know that the game came out 8 years ago. I get it. But I had forgotten just how much of a masterclass this game was. Dude, this is a 10 out of 10, and I'm loving it. I can't recommend it for everybody, and that's why I was hesitant, and I wanted to preface everything with saying it's all a matter of perspective. If you just played The Last of Us Remastered recently, I would even say in the last 3-4 years, don't spend $70 on this. Don't do it. You know all the story beats, you know all the elements. For me personally, I'd forgotten, I'd say 80% of the damn game. I know, where it goes and, the bigger story points. I remembered those, but I'm playing through. I'm about 6-7 hours in right now. I had forgotten damn near, I would say 85 to 90% of what I've played through right now. So I am loving it, dude. The attention to detail in this is really something else. I mean, even from the way that Joel reloads his gun, his pistol, every little animation, it is really, we're talking like top tier. I keep saying I said Red Dead Redemption 2 earlier because that's the game that I think has the best animations in, as far as the history of gaming, as far as games I played. This is right there with that. And the sound design, oh my gosh, dude, oh my goodness. Let me just say this also. If you haven't played The Last of Us, this is a must buy. This is worth $70. So if you have not played this game, I would even say if you played the original PS3 one and the subsequent PS4 one 8 years ago, this is worth $70. Or at least in my mind it is. I know that's going to be very controversial. I think that when the reviews came out, we saw really positive reception to this game from critics. No surprise there, but I do think this is something that people need to play. They really need to play it, and I think they'll have a greater appreciation for all the little details that Naughty Dog's added here. I think that's when you'll start to really understand why this was made. And dude, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Are you surprised by my impressions of the game? I know we had discussed. You are really wow. Yeah. So what part of my analysis, if you will? I know I talked on a huge rant there. What part are you struggling with here? Because I'm assuming it's how the hell am I validating this being worth $70? Is that what's rubbing you the wrong way?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. This is not a $70 game. I didn't pick it up, obviously, because I didn't want to spend $70 on it. But I've played the first one. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I really, really loved it. I probably beat it in 3 days because the story is just so compelling, and it is paced so perfectly, and it just pushes you through the game. It almost invites you to complete it. And it was innovative. It was so innovative at the time. And The Last of Us had so many games. The Last of Us influenced so many other games after it. But, and we already talked about the theory. They're training new employees. And they have a bigger staff now. And I get that, and I agree with that. And I think that this game, when you look at it from that perspective, was a very smart thing to do. It's very smart that they put it on PS5 only because they want to showcase the PS5. These are all great things, right? But you talk about the attention to detail. You talk about the way Joel reloads his gun. You talk about the story and just how this game is a masterclass. All of these things were true when The Last of Us came out already. Okay? Like, nothing has changed. This game is amazing. We already know that, though. If they released Uncharted 4 PS5, people would be losing their minds because that game originally came out on the PS4. If it came out again on the PS5 and they made it $70, I don't care how amazing that game is. People would be infuriated. Do you disagree?
Dude, I'm trying to explain this is a matter of perspective. And I'm telling you, I know that you said that, the way that he reloads his gun, big whoop. The emotional beats to the story have way more of an impact in this remake, regardless if you know what they are. The opening sequence of this game, I'll spoil it. I'm sure we've all played The Last of Us if you're on this podcast. When Joel's daughter passes away, I knew that was coming. Dude, I was getting teary-eyed. Like, the impact of those moments, it looks so real, it's almost jarring. It really is. It was like replaying the game again, but like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I'm trying to defend this game, and that's why I keep on saying it's a matter of perspective. It's a matter of perspective. When was the last time that you played The Last of Us? Just out of curiosity, when was the last time that you played through the game?
When the original came out for the PS3.
So you didn't play the PS4 port?
No.
Oh my goodness. And I cannot wait for this game to get cheaper because I know you're going to end up playing it. I do know that. I know that I think that we've discussed that. And I think you're waiting for it to reach a price point that you feel is appropriate. What do you think it's worth? Like in your eyes, are you looking at $40?
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt this game had a lot of work poured into it. Okay? I'm not denying that. It's just a retread of another game. You see Ratchet and Clank. The original remaster. Damn, it gets so confusing with remasters and remakes and
I know.
Excuse me for fumbling through this, but the Ratchet and Clank game that came out before the PS5 one, the one that sort of soft rebooted the franchise, that game was completely it was the essence of the very first Ratchet and Clank game. All the levels were generally the same, but it was a completely different game. It was a completely different game. It was modernized. Okay, and then maybe you could say, oh, well, The Last of Us was so far ahead of its time, it was already modernized. So, yeah, I get that. But Ratchet and Clank for the PS4 was $40. Completely remade from the ground up. New animators, new voice actors, new everything. New everything. Is the voice acting different in this game, Vinny?
Oh no, it's the exact same.
I didn't think so.
Voice acting, no changes, nothing. There are no changes to the voice acting in this game. Anthony, I have a feeling here you're going to end up eating your own words. I really do. I was that impressed. And you know what's scary, Anthony? I'm telling you, I realized this early on. Like, I went in with the exact same mindset that you had, which is there's no way I'm going to sit here and say this game's worth it. I like, at least the $70 price tag. It's not going to be worth it. Dude, it was I was 30 minutes in, and I was hooked. I ended up playing for 7 straight hours. It is that good. Like, it is, I'm telling you, it plays different. It feels different to play. And those emotional moments, those, you know, the story beats, dude, I had forgotten a lot of them. So that's why I'm prefacing everything by saying, you know, it comes from where, you know, have you played this game before? When did you play? I forgot a lot of the story beats. So maybe that's playing a role here for me. But dude, this has been worth every penny so far. And I can't elaborate enough on how surprised I am